Growing up in Lahore, life often felt like a series of routine days, marked by the familiar hustle and bustle of the city. At barely 13, my world was mostly confined to school, family, and the comforting rhythms of my everyday life. It was a time of innocence, where the biggest concerns were school assignments and playing with friends. But on one seemingly ordinary day, my perception of the world changed forever. It was late afternoon, and the sun was beginning its descent, casting long shadows over Main Boulevard and Main Market. I was in the back seat of our family car, being driven home by our trusted driver. The city's usual symphony of honking cars, street vendors calling out, and the distant chatter of people filled the air. I stared out the window, lost in my thoughts, when we approached a busy intersection. As we stopped at the signal, a grey sedan pulled up beside us. My eyes wandered over to the car, and what I saw next would become an indelible memory. Inside were two men in the front seats, their faces hard and expressionless. In the back, three bulky men were crammed together with a young girl squeezed between them. Her eyes, wide with fear, locked onto mine. She mouthed the word "Bachao," help, and I saw tears streaming down her cheeks. Time seemed to stand still in that moment. The bustling city around me faded away, and all I could see was the desperation in her eyes. My heart raced, and a sense of urgency washed over me. The signal turned green, jolting me back to reality. The car started moving, but I couldn't shake the image of the girl pleading for help. "Follow that car!" I urged, my voice shaking with a mix of fear and determination. My driver's eyes met mine in the rearview mirror, and he nodded without hesitation. Adrenaline coursed through my veins as we trailed the grey sedan through the busy streets. We weaved through traffic, the sounds of honking horns and revving engines blending into a cacophony of tension. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing the urgency of the situation. We followed them until they turned into a quieter street. Summoning all the courage I could muster, I asked my driver to overtake and stop them. He complied, and our car screeched to a halt in front of the sedan. I jumped out, ready to confront the men and save the girl. But before I could take another step, the men emerged from the car, and the gravity of the situation became clear. They were enormous, their presence intimidating. My driver, recognizing the danger that I hadn't fully grasped, shouted at me to get back into the car. He saw something I didn't at first. The men were armed. He dragged me back into the car and locked the doors. Fear and frustration welled up inside me as we sped away, leaving the girl behind. In the safety of our car, my driver explained the peril we had narrowly escaped. He knew that if my parents found out what had happened, he might lose his job. So we kept the incident to ourselves, a dark secret buried in the recesses of my memory. The memory of that day remains etched in my mind like a scar, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the cruelty that exists in the world. Despite the passing years, the image of the girl's tear-streaked face haunts me, her silent plea for help echoing in the depths of my soul. I am haunted not only by the fear of what could have happened to her, but also by the realization of my own powerlessness in that moment. As I grapple with the shadows of the past, I find myself drowning in a sea of guilt and questions that have no answers. Could I have been braver, more decisive? The memory of her helpless eyes not only haunts me but also taunts me, challenging my every decision since that day. Each reflection brings with it a wave of what-ifs and could-haves, a tormenting cycle that offers no respite. As I recount the events, I ponder deeply if there was a moment, a split second, where I could have changed everything. A step I didn't take, a shout I didn't make. This relentless introspection fuels a desire to seek redemption, to find some way to make amends, not only to her but to myself, for the courage I couldn't muster when it mattered the most. Even now, I find myself grappling with these uncertainties, wondering if there's some overlooked detail, some action I could have taken to alter the course of fate. Thank you for watching aikdastaan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.